Hi everybody, welcome to the first live I've done since my workshop back in March. So it's feeling quite nice to be coming on and chatting with you all again. I hope you're all well and that you managed to make some good use out of the exercises and activities that we did in the workshop. If you didn't join the workshop, don't worry, each of the tasks is pinned to the top of my group, so you can still do them in your own time. And of course, if you have any questions, come and give me a shout and let me know and I can give you a hand with them. From the workshop, we had quite a few power hours booked, which was amazing. And I've really enjoyed seeing how that has helped you guys feel a bit more confident in your social media and getting those posts planned so that you can focus on running your business. So I really hope that those helped. And for anybody else who's thinking that might be handy in May, drop me a message and we can get it booked in for you. So now that hello is out of the way, I just wanted to explain what it is I decided to come on for. So yesterday, I shared a post about it being Stress Awareness Month, and my thinking was I would ask what it is about social media that is stressing people out at the moment, because I want to help. I want to make it a bit better, and I have had such a great response to the post that I thought that I would come on and do a live and give my response to the things that are worrying you and hopefully try and help make you feel a bit better about them. So to anybody who took part in the post, hello, and I hope that this will help you. And anybody who's watching live now, I can see there are a few of you on at the moment. Hi. Do let me know if you're watching and what the things are that are stressing you out about social media at the moment. And let's see if I can give you a hand. While you have a think about that, I suppose I just wanted to share that if you are feeling stressed about work or non-work things at the moment, you are definitely not alone. I've been feeling very overwhelmed lately. I feel like I've been on catch up, having fallen behind back in February. I feel like I've been on catch up a bit on my work and trying to get myself back ahead again. I've been very lucky to have a student on work experience who's been helping me. So hi to Leah if she watches this at a later date. It's been amazing having her on board just to take a few of the jobs off my to-do list. And also my BA has been incredible in getting jobs that I wouldn't have got done, like my website and scheduling my posts. As I've shared on social media today, I don't actually schedule my own posts. I get a BA to do it because it's a long-ass job and I just can't be bothered with it. So it really helps take just one thing off my list, just getting a BA to do that for an hour a week. So yeah, I just wanted to share that actually if you are feeling overwhelmed, particularly if like me, you have a child at home because we're in the Easter holidays. I got absolutely bugger all work done today because I just couldn't around Harry. We had a lovely day together. We had a Hungry Caterpillar themed day, so pop over to my Instagram to see some photos from that because we had a really lovely day and some time in the park this morning. But it did mean that because we were going from one activity to the next, I just didn't get any work done until about 5 o'clock when my other half got home. And by then, of course, you're shattered, aren't you? But you really need to get the most important jobs done. And that's quite a challenge, raising your energy again in the evening. But yeah, so that's, like I said, I just wanted to say if you are feeling stressed at the moment, it's totally understandable. Easter holidays are horrid, particularly after we've had the kids at home for nigh on 12 months anyway. Having that added on, but we do have the light at the end of the tunnel, and I think that with the pubs reopening and the shops reopening, and Harry and I went swimming yesterday for the first time in months, and that was really exciting. So yeah, it feels like we're sort of maybe moving into a new chapter now, and hopefully we can do the same with your social media. So Q1 is over. We're now moving into Q2, and it'd be really nice to use these 3 months to get yourself sorted for the rest of the year. So that's my plan. I wanted, on that note about things opening up again, before I cover the things that are stressing us out at the moment, I wanted to just drop a quick hello and a quick congratulations to, I know there's quite a few of you on my group who run businesses who haven't been able to have your business open for the last 6 months or for the last 12 months on and off. So just a huge congratulations. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope the first 2 days back have gone amazingly, or if you're due back later in the week. So I posted about that on my group earlier yesterday as well. And I know Helen, who is one of my content planning power hour ladies, and owns the business, the wonderful business Bitch Mix cocktails, and they are so good. Luke and I had them on Valentine's Day, and the Long Island iced tea is mwah. I would highly recommend it. So I know, Helen, you're opening on Friday. Best of luck with that. I hope you're having a busy but happy week getting ready for it. Kathy is reopening the Blue View Art Studio. How exciting to have everybody come back in for that. You're opening that on Sunday the 18th of April. So you're looking forward to this weekend as well. I hope that everything is going well getting ready. Sian, the lovely Sian, who did a guest spot for me a little while back, which I think you can still find in announcements on my group, publicly reopening your face-to-face diary. Sian deals in mental health, so obviously those face-to-face appointments are so important, so I'm really glad that you're able to do that. And Sian, I must hit you up about talking about mental health for me on the group next month, which will be the theme for all of my social media in May, will be mental health. So hopefully that will be useful for anybody. And Sian, if you fancy coming on and doing a guest spot, let me know. And Abby is opening next week, and that's wonderful news for you to be able to start giving people treatments again. So congratulations to everybody, and I hope that it all goes so well that it makes up for being closed for the rest of this year. Anyway, with that, without further ado, let's move on to the topic that I wanted to come on live to talk to you about tonight, and that is stress. So we're in Stress Awareness Month, and I asked on the group, what is it that's stressing you out most about social media at the moment? And I was really pleased that there was a really good response to this post, so wanted to give the answers in a little bit more detail. I've got about 8 issues that have been raised, which is wonderful. So I'm going to try and chat about each of them, and I'm not going to keep you for any longer than half an hour because I want to go and watch Line of Duty because I didn't get to see it on Sunday and everybody said it was amazing. So as I said before, if you're watching and you have any worries or stresses about social media that you want to share, do drop it in the comments and I will make sure I keep an eye out for them and I will answer it as we chat. So Carol Barrick, the lovely Carol, who featured on my Spark Up North magazine recently, says, knowing how to utilize each one really well. Completely understand about this. Every single platform has different tactics that you need to use. You need to have a different approach for each one, and having a blanket set of content for all of it doesn't always work quite so well. So my advice, the best advice I've always heard, and now what I give out, is to focus on each one at a time. So think about where your ideal client is, where they hang out the most, and focus on that. Focus on getting that exactly how you want it. And you can use that content over on the other platforms while you make sure that is exactly how you want it. Then while you're doing that, you will probably start to pick up where else they are, and then you can edit your content to suit them. So as an example, last summer, mainly because the pandemic was doing my head in, about this time last year, I pretty much came off Facebook and decided to go with and focus on Instagram instead. And I started connecting with some really great people and I was really enjoying it. And it just helped me build up that confidence to get myself back on Facebook again and focus on using Facebook for my business, not for my social life. So my focus at the start was Instagram, and I used the content from Instagram on the other platforms, and I adapt it a bit, something as simple as less hashtags for Facebook, completely like really, really short messages for Twitter, and then making it slightly more professional for LinkedIn. I know that on my group, I can ask you guys any question that pops in my head. It might be what's stressing you out about social media. It might be what do you need help with. It might be what's your favorite color and is it on your social media. I always try and link it back to social media, but I know that I can be a bit more friendly and a bit more chatty, and the groups are great for engagement. So they're great for question posts. Just make sure they fit you, not necessarily your business and what you do, but you don't want to be posting random crap. Basically, one of my clients put that post out about, when there's the picture of the bread roll, and it asks, what do you call this? And you get BAP, carb, all of this bollocks. But the reason they shared that on social media was because they'd had that conversation with a customer during the day, and the customer had come out with oven baked bottoms, and they didn't have a clue what they were talking about. So it was a really nice story that gave a bit of an insight into the business whilst also getting some great engagement. So Carol, I hope that kind of explains how to utilize each one. Pick one and make that your priority. Focus on how to make that work. And obviously, if you have, once you know which one is your priority, I'm going to guess it's Facebook for you, Carol, then let me know and we can see how you can utilize that. I would say your best thing is your group, because that's then led into your podcast. That's where you're going to get your most support and your most engagement. So focus on your group, focus on getting to know them, focus on engaging with them. Facebook will love you for it. So hopefully that helps. I'm just going to take a sip of water for the next one. I'm also just going to see, there'll be shock across the world that I'm drinking water. The last couple of Tuesday nights I've been on wine, but I did have a celebration last week, so I'm letting myself off. Anyway, Nikki Sawyer, thank you. Thank you to all of you for answering, actually. But Nikki Sawyer says, overwhelm, lack of knowledge, and time. So there's 3 in there. But I personally feel, and Kathy Proctor says, yeah, I agree with this. So I personally feel, and I say this from experience, that content planning can help you with both overwhelm and time. The reason it does that is because you're sitting down and you're setting yourself, you're getting, even though you're having to put aside a couple of hours, say, to make the plan, that will then save you time later on, because it saves you having to sit on your phone at 6 o'clock every night trying to work out what to post, spending like an hour writing it, deleting it, writing it. Oh gosh, yeah, now I've got to do a graphic or a photo. You've got it all flowing. You've got it quicker, you've got it there, you're not having to waste that time. So you've condensed the time, I suppose, streamlined your processes, but also it will save you time in terms of actually getting your results out of social media. When you have a plan, when you have a consistent message that fits with that plan, you are actually going to get better engagement and grow your audience. When you're posting sporadically and with conflicting messages, just random posts, it's not going to get you the results that a content plan would. So it's highly worth investing those couple of hours. And I hope that would then help you with overwhelm. If the thought of creating a content plan feels really overwhelming, do check out the tasks that are pinned to announcements in my group, because they will help you go through some really, really simple steps to get a content plan together. And if after that you still feel like you need a bit of helping hand, drop me a note with any questions, drop me a message anytime. It's absolutely fine. I can't guarantee I'll answer it straight away, but I will get to it at some point. But also there is my content planning power hour. And for those of you in my group, there is a discount for that. So give me a shout. I can guarantee that it will get your social media sorted. It will give you so much less to do when you're trying to sort out your social media for May. We will get it under, what's the word I'm looking for, like under the thumb, but that's not right. We'll get it sorted. And as for lack of knowledge, which you mentioned, Nikki, I think that even for me, all the time, social media feels really overwhelming. I'm not massively techie. I like to think I move with the times quite well with social media. I pick up on the new trends and things quite quickly, but I'm not great. I'm not really confident in how it all works and SEO and all of that. And I think what it is worth saying is that everybody feels like that. There are very, very few people who are really like 100% on top of social media, because it is changing constantly. So don't let that put you off feeling like you don't understand it fully, because nobody does. Unless you're Mark Zuckerberg, you're still going to have questions about it. And I would also then say that actually the most important thing that you can focus on, rather than worrying about algorithm and numbers and all of that, is to focus on you and your message and getting your story out there, because you may not feel like you know social media, but what you do know is you, and that's how to get your authority across. So hopefully that helps, Nikki. Abby, thank you for commenting. The fact that for it to work best, you have to use it lots, which is not good for mental health and the time it takes. Abby, I totally understand feeling like you've got to be on there all the time. I see people suggesting like posting on 10 different groups every day, and posting 10 times a day. I saw someone suggest posting 20 stories. It's crazy. And for me, I think it's about building up your time slowly to work out what fits into your life. And then from that, you'll work out what's working well. So you can drop the stuff that isn't working well. You can try new things when you have time. I am a firm believer in flexible working, and I think that it can be quite hard on social media because you can see accounts like grow really quickly, and you can feel like, oh, I should have more members by now, I should have more followers by now. You are going at your own speed and putting yourself under pressure to post all the time, to go live all the time, to spend hours commenting on people's posts. That will make you not want to be on social media, and then you won't be genuine, if that makes sense, because you'll be feeling stressed about it. So try and break down the time that you're spending on social media and just build yourself up more slowly, because you have to put your mental health first. Otherwise that will come across in your social media, because you'll either crash and burn like I did last month and not post at all, which is bad, or you will end up just sort of coming across as stressed and not genuine. And excuse me, I'm being just interrupted by my 4-year-old. Thank you, darling. It is a nice light. So yeah, so you will it will kind of come across in your posts, if you know what I mean. It will come across that it isn't you. So you need to look after yourself first. And in terms of like feeling like you've got to be on all the time, I don't think that's right. I try and set myself a task of spending 10 minutes on each platform every day. And I do that for my client as well, actually. So I always go on first thing in the morning on Facebook, always do that. And usually for more than 10 minutes, but if I've said to myself 10 minutes on each, it just feels like it's an achievable number. I tend to go on Twitter quite early because I want to find out what's going on in the football world, and then Instagram I tend to leave for later in the day because it's a bit more positive. It's a bit more like scrolling through and just enjoying it rather than feeling like I've got to be on the ball like I do on Facebook. And LinkedIn I usually do earlier in the day as well. So it's just kind of that, having 10 minutes a day on each platform, you know you've shown up, you know you've engaged, you know you've done your bit. And if you want to do a bit longer, then great. But if you don't because you push for time, doesn't matter. At least you've managed that. I also had a really good tip that I heard today, where the lady charges her phone overnight. And then she has a rule that when the phone runs out of charge, she's not allowed to charge it up again until she goes to bed. So if she's been using social media loads, which I can totally relate to, it makes her phone run out of battery a lot quicker. That happens to me most days. So by when it runs out, not charging it again, you're stopping yourself from spending like an excessive amount of time on the social media. So I really like that rule and I might try it, but at the minute I'm charging it during the day anyway, so I need to get myself back into sync. So Nicole, hi lovely, I'm not sure if you're still on, but thank you for commenting. Nicole has added to our things to talk about tonight: spending more time on my content planning helped so much. I hated having to think each day. That's so nice to hear. Thank you, Nicole. And that was what I was just saying about time, actually putting aside some time to plan your content makes so much difference in the long run. Nicole had a planning power hour in February, I think it was, or was it only last month? It feels like it was ages ago, but I know how much it helped you because I've seen your posts are doing brilliantly, and I take no credit for that because that's all you're doing. That is all your content, and it's and I love checking out your feed. I always pop on to see what makeup tips I can pick up, or just to lift my mood a bit. So well done, good on you. That's really cool, and I'm really pleased to hear that the Content Planning Power Hour helped you. Just moving back to the comments on the post, Danny, the lovely Danny from Danique Keepsakes, and gosh, I've forgotten the name of your membership group, Danny. How's that popped out of my head? But it's a membership group for creatives, which I love. It's really good at like keeping people accountable and having good ideas. Danny says, keeping up with it. Oh my God. Yes, I completely agree. And I feel like that kind of fits into what I said about Abby. You just have to take it at your own pace. Don't put yourself under pressure to be doing what everybody else is doing, because they might have more time to spend on social media than you do. They might have older kids. They might have less kids. They might have, they might have their business totally sorted at the minute, but it's a month that you need to focus on your business rather than your social media. So just focus on what's the right thing for you and don't put yourself under pressure. I hope that helps. Anna, thank you as well for commenting. Just 2 more left now, and then I'm going to go because I can feel my throat getting sore from talking so much. Struggling to set boundaries about how much I use it, as it feels like I need to be on it all the time. Anna, I feel and I hope that what I said in response to Abby's comment will help you. The 10-minute rule works for me, and I really like the once your phone runs out of charge, you're not allowed to recharge it. I think that's a great idea. I know there are also apps on your phones that can track and restrict your social media usage, so that's a nice idea. I've seen loads of people talk about the rule of putting your phone away at 9 o'clock. I must admit I do that as well. Like when Luke and I sat in the evening, once he comes down after putting the boys to bed, unless football is on or I've got some jobs that I need to do, I will put my phone to one side so that I'm focusing on him and us rather than focusing on basically the doom scroll. So I like the 9 p.m. rule, because I think for the most part, if you're on social media after 9, it's going to be just scrolling for the sake of it. It's unlikely to be anything that's helping your business. It might well be, but I think you know best what times are the right times for you to be engaging. So I find the school run is a really good time for me. So I think it's just take the pressure off yourself and build it up slowly is my answer to that one. And Charlotte says, our final comment, Charlotte says, keeping up with posts and managing multiple accounts. I feel like if I put lots of time into one, then I neglect the other. I completely understand this one. I've got 2 accounts plus a client at the moment that I'm managing, and the second account, I'm about to add a third actually. What an idiot. But the second account, I feel like I'm not giving quite as much love to, but I do have a student giving it the love it needs. So in your head what is the most important. I do think, I'm not sure if you've got it, but my content planning spellbook really helps with this, because basically it's a spreadsheet. And you have like the columns of the different platforms. So it has the dates of the month, the month all the way down. Sorry, it'll be that side for you guys. And then it has Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So what I will do is I will put like a column for themes. So I can put in National Awareness Day, Monday Motivation, and then I just edit each post. So I'll start on mine for Instagram, and I will change it completely for my group. But I know in my head it's Monday and it's the start of gardening week, so I'll mention that in my group. Or I know that it's pizza day. I always use that as an example for some reason. So I might not mention that on my Instagram, but I do want to mention it in my group. I do want to mention it on my clients, and it just helps sort of like take where you might be doing these jobs separately, you're doing them all in one to save yourself time. I hope that makes sense. But the content planning spellbook is in my group. It's pinned to the announcements. I would highly recommend it because I love it. But also I think it's really helpful for I've had some really good feedback from people who've had it after their content planning power hour. When you do a content planning power hour, I will put all the notes into this content planning spellbook, so that all you need to do is go away and finish writing the posts, and we'll have structured a plan So you've just got to finish it and schedule it, basically. That's my goal. So that's another way. If you like the sound of the spell book, you want some help filling it out, then booking a power hour is a great way of doing that. So thank you. Nicole says it is half you're doing. Bless you, sweetie. That's such a sweetheart. I can't believe it's January that we did it. I do remember. I think it was right at the end of the month, wasn't it? It feels like such a long time ago. There's been so much happen since then. Give me a shout if you need a follow-up one, because there's a discount for a follow-up one. So give me a shout. And obviously I'll be chatting to you soon about makeup. So yeah, thank you everybody who has joined. I hope that has been helpful for you. I feel like I have talked without taking a breath for the last 25 minutes. So I hope I haven't waffled too much, and I hope that makes sense. As you know, anytime you have a question, you are welcome to drop me a message or ask in my group. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube or on my page, the group is the Content Planning Wizards : social media support for mums in business. So if you put the Content Planning Wizards, you should come up with my group. Do come over and see me there. We are very, 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 very nearly at 500 members at the moment, which is really exciting, because I only started the group back in September. So I'm really pleased with that. That's my goal, is to get to 500 members by the end of this month. So hopefully we will. But it's a growing group. But what's most lovely is it's really well engaged. So I hope that if any of you are watching over on my external channels, you'll come and join me on my internal channel, which is my group. And all of these kinds of questions I will answer any time. And if you're watching in the group, thank you so much for all the lovely engagement recently. You keep my spirits up every day. So take care, everybody. I will look forward to seeing you all very soon.